Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. GT Bank faces backlash over arrest of social media critic Marty Joseph, popularly known as Very Dark Man, at its premises. Tension rises in Rivers State as Fubara Wike peace accord reportedly collapses. Natasha's sexual harassment case, money can't buy my voice, says former Minister of Education Obi Ezekwesili. I am Florence Joshua. Welcome. A coalition of 56 prominent civil society organizations, including CISLAC, SERAP, CITAD, Budget, and Amnesty International Nigeria, has called on Senate President Godswill Akpabio to step down following the Court of Appeal's affirmation of a conviction related to the 2019 Akwa Ibom Northwest senatorial election. The appeal court seated in Calabar upheld a 3-year prison sentence against Professor Peter Ogban, the returning officer for the 2019 election, who was found guilty of manipulating results in favor of Akpabio, then a candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC). In a joint statement issued on Monday, the CSO said the judgment raises grave concerns over the legitimacy of Senator Akpabio's electoral victory. Although Akpabio has denied any involvement in the fraudulent activity, the group insists that the conviction of the official who declared him winner casts a shadow over the integrity of his mandate. They argue that Akpabio should temporarily vacate his seat to preserve public trust and uphold democratic values. The CSO questioned whether Akpabio, having been a confirmed beneficiary of electoral fraud in the 9th Senate, an office he left to become Minister of Niger Delta, should have been allowed to contest for the 10th National Assembly or serve as its president. The statement commended Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and former Akwa Ibom Resident Electoral Commissioner Mike Igini for pursuing the investigation and prosecution of the case. The CSO urged the National Assembly, INEC, and the judiciary to treat the ruling as a call to strengthen electoral safeguards. They also called on the APC to initiate a rerun or revalidation of the disputed senatorial seat. Nigerians wake up to listen to a fresh perspective on the Akpabio-Natasha sexual allegation story almost every day. This Monday, the story that greeted our editorial session on this alleged sexual harassment came from a group known as Action Collective. The group has called on Senate President Godswill Akpabio to explain to Nigerians the reason behind his sudden withdrawal from a presidential panel set up to investigate sexual harassment allegations leveled against him by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. It wondered why Akpabio decided to quit the committee without offering any explanation to Nigerians.
The group's coordinator, Dr. Onimisi Ibrahim, in a statement recalled that a panel was established by President Bola Tinubu on April 2, 2025, headed by Vice President Kashim Shettima, to look into the claims made by Senator Natasha. Other members of the panel included the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, and one representative each nominated by Senator Akpabio and Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan. The group added that the presidential panel was mandated to investigate the serious allegations that have drawn national attention and embarrassment, adding that it has also triggered widespread speculation across the country. Clearview gathered that the Senate President cited undue interference by the executive arm of government and lack of confidence in the neutrality of the panel as reasons for his decision. We therefore ask, is Akpabio saying he lacks confidence in the current presidency or President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Action Collective therefore says Senator Akpabio owes Nigerians and the world a duty to speak out or step aside as President of the Senate.
Former Minister of Education Obi Ezekwesili has denied collecting bribes to support the suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Ezekwesili is said to have been outspoken in the demand for an investigation into the sexual harassment allegations made by Akpoti-Uduaghan against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The ex-education minister has also called for Akpabio to step aside for an impartial probe and for the senator's petition to be handled. A UK-based activist, Sandra Duru, better known as Professor Mbeke, last Thursday alleged that Akpoti-Uduaghan fabricated the sexual harassment allegation against Akpabio. Duru also claimed that the senator told her the former minister was paid to back the sexual harassment allegations. However, in a post on X, Ezekwesili said she cannot be bribed to support a cause she is committed to. The former minister further stated that she would continue to support the senator wholeheartedly. Following the arrest of Nigerian social media activist Martins Vincent Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on May 2, 2025, after his visit to a bank in Abuja to lodge a complaint about unauthorized deductions from his mother's account. Nigerians have taken to the streets to protest his arrest. We'll bring you details.
Great Nigerian people, we are here today and we have shown the message to the world that as Nigerians, we need it. And as citizens of this great nation, we must protest against every oppression. We must protest. We must protest injustice.
VDM's arrest has sparked widespread outrage on social media, with many Nigerians expressing their discontent and demanding his release. His lawyer Deji Adeyanju described the arrest as a blatant abuse of power and an attempt to suppress consumer rights and freedom of expression. Meanwhile, a massive wave of protest has erupted with over 100,000 Nigerians boycotting the bank and unfollowing its official pages, while some have closed their accounts. The boycott, trending under the hashtag #FreeVeryDarkMan, has led to several calls for customers to withdraw their savings from the bank. Many users have taken to social media to share their experience with GTB Bank services, citing poor service and excessive charges as long-standing grievances. The bank digital platforms were flooded with over 13,000 complaints and several users claiming to have emptied their accounts in protest.
Mess with the wrong person. I mean, they mess with the whole country because see as VDM, small VDM, see as he block road, who's small? See as he block road. Only VDM, I'm block this guy. Yes, yes, free VDM, see as he block road. They mess with the freaking wrong person. He has done nothing wrong. Free VDM, free VDM. Yes, see, oh, VDM, I'm block this road, oh.
I may be about a very dark man. Eh? He is not your typical religious person, Abi. He does not speak in tongues, he does not kabash. But what God has used him to do in Nigeria, even GOs and powerful prophets in Nigeria, they have not done it. Now the fear of very dark man is the beginning of wisdom. God has used him to bring justice to people. There were people who took money from others to do something they didn't need, and they refused to give them their money until such victims went to very dark man, and very dark man took up the case.
Nigerians can no longer speak for themselves. If to say na this Yankee, this thing for happen. See, that bank, nobody they spoil anything. No. Before they go know, customers, people go remove their money. That EFCC, people go dead there. Nobody they spoil anything. In solidarity with their guy. That is why if you look America, how many activists you fit call for America? America don't need anybody like VDM. Because here, everybody know their right that if you talk. But somewhere like Nigeria need VDM because a lot of Nigerians know if you talk.
The incident has sparked a national conversation about consumer rights, freedom of speech, and corporate accountability in Nigeria. Human rights lawyer Deji Adeyanju emphasized that VDM's arrest was unjustified, adding that the bank must be held accountable for its action. The case has a broader implications for the banking sector and consumer protection in Nigeria. Meanwhile, famous Afrobeat star Davido has joined thousands of netizens to call for the release of Very Dark Man from detention. Clearview News Desk reports that Very Dark Man, a popular social media critic, was arrested on Friday by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over an undisclosed offense. Before his arrest, Very Dark Man had announced his visit to one of the GTB Bank branches in Abuja to complain about an alleged deduction from his mother's account. As of the time of filing this report, it is not yet clear if Very Dark Man was arrested inside the GT Bank or outside the premises. Meanwhile, his arrest has triggered diverse reactions online and social media users, including celebrities, calling for his release. Reacting to the development, Davido, in a post on X, demanded Very Dark Man's release. In another development, the peace accord between the suspended governor Simlayo Fubara and the FCT minister Nyesom Wike has reportedly collapsed as a fresh crisis looms in Rivers State. A fresh wave of political tension is casting serious doubt on the possibility of Fubara returning to office earlier than the 6-month duration. As reported in some quarters, the hope that President Tinubu will announce Fubara's reinstatement during the upcoming May 29 Democracy Day address on May 29 may be misplaced due to recent developments, as Wike, through his media aide, Lere Olayinka, accused some individuals of undermining peace efforts. The minister indirectly referencing Fubara's recent peace visit to Tinubu in London and himself in Abuja. However, many Rivers women and Niger Delta stakeholders rejected Wike's remarks. They argue that the women's actions were misrepresented and politically weaponized. Meanwhile, the spokesperson of the Ijaw Republican Assembly, Aniko Briggs, condemned the attempt to link the incident to Governor Fubara. President of the Ijaw National Congress, Professor Benjamin Okaba, also insisted that the women acted respectfully. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has criticized a group of women who walked out during an empowerment event organized by First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu in Port Harcourt, calling the act disturbing and embarrassing. The protest, which occurred on Friday at an event center in the state, was allegedly led by women loyal to the suspended Rivers State Governor, Simlayo Fubara. Meanwhile, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike accused Governor Simlayo Fubara of orchestrating a walkout on First Lady Oluremi. However, in this response, Fubara fired back at Wike, describing his statement as illogical. The FCT minister urged supporters of the suspended governor to desist from actions that ridicule the state and cautioned him to be transparent about his political intentions. Some journalists bear their minds on the issue during a Clearview discussion program.
Where you are benefiting from, you have to protect that particular source.
Okay.
So that is what is happening right now, because what I expected someone, maybe like the First Lady, Tinubu's wife, to make a statement that, oh, I did not like what the women did and see. But she didn't say anything. And now what is your business coming out to say, okay, on behalf of, are you the only one in Rivers State that should apologize, or this thing did not go down well with? So I feel it's because of what Wike stand to benefit from Tinubu that is making Wike to come out to apologize. Because you were not there. Your name was not mentioned. They did not talk about you. And you are the one coming out to apologize. So it's more of what he stands to benefit from these people.
I also think there's a problem, there's a misunderstanding somewhere. Because if you say Ibas is an administrator, he's not the governor. The people of Rivers State elected their governor. And their first lady is Simla Efubara's wife. And you are saying a sole administrator, which the people don't want. Okay, he's now administering the state. And now you are sending his wife to represent the first lady. So she's the de facto first lady of Rivers State. For somebody they did not elect. Somebody that is not from Rivers State. It doesn't make sense. And are we saying the people of Rivers State cannot decide who they want or who they want to support? Why is Wiki apologizing?
Well, for me, based on my understanding, I believe that once someone has been appointed as the sole administrator, he's now the person in charge of that government. And Fubara was democratically elected. And we know that in Nigeria, the office of the First Lady is not an office that is recognized in the constitution. So, as the First Lady, you occupy that position or you represent the women because your husband is there. So, I think that is where the First Lady was probably coming from, and that is the reason why the wife of Iboki Bass was asked to represent her instead of, instead of Fubara's wife being the representative for that particular event. So for Wike coming in to, state his own and plead, I'm not supporting him, but then we could just call him a stakeholder in Rivers State. He was the previously elected, he was a governor there, he served there for 2 terms, so he still has a say in the activities that happen in the state.
As part of effort to curb the menace of insecurity that has ravaged different parts of the country, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has called for a more people-centered approach to security, one that places young people at the heart of community safety efforts as against the traditional military response to addressing insecurity. He made this known at the second edition of the Kaduna State Student Development Summit on Security. We have the details.
It's been over a decade since the security situation in Nigeria assumed a worrying trend, from terrorism and armed banditry in the north to kidnapping and secessionist activities in the southeast and southwest, which have largely threatened the country's existence. In all these battles, the Nigerian military has been the leading security agency at the forefront of kinetic and non-kinetic operations targeted at restoring peace and normalcy in the country till date. At the second Students' Development Security Summit, organized by the Kaduna State Government, stakeholders explored the vital role students can play in tackling insecurity in the state and beyond. Bringing together policymakers, educators, security experts, student leaders, and civil society actors, the event provided a platform to examine how young people, who are often victims of insecurity, can also become agents of peace and transformation.
Our goal is to leverage collective vision or wisdom to inform evidence-based strategies that mitigate security threats and promote a secure environment for our students and the broader community, Kaduna State and Nigeria at large.
In his remarks, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who was represented by Rear Admiral Olusonya Bankole, stressed the need for inclusive and collaborative efforts aimed at empowering young people to contribute meaningfully to the security of their communities.
Security transformation is no longer confined to uniformed personnel, armaments, or physical defense. It encompasses human security. Students contribute to peace building by organizing forums, workshops, and debates that promote intercultural understanding and conflict resolution skills, using social media to spread messages of peace and counter hate speech at divisive rhetoric.
The discussions focused on practical strategies to harness the creativity, energy, and leadership potential of students in building lasting peace and community resilience.
Other conflicts, border clashes, were completely alien to that period of time.
The summit had as its theme, Students as Panacea for Security Transformation.
Officers of the Nigerian police force have been seen in a viral video making rounds online assaulting an unidentified young man. The video shared by ex-users identified as Sumto Okonkwo shows the moment the victim was being harassed and hit by uniformed personnel. Responding, the police complaint response unit acknowledged the video and called on Okonkwo to provide more information to aid their investigation. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel. This is therefore a call to individuals, organizations, embassies, political office holders, and more to inform the world about their activities and achievements through documentaries. Here at Clearview, we parade the masters in the business of producing world-class documentaries. Show your stuff to the world by first contacting us through telephone number 0704 244 1177 or email us at clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com. Watch Clearview News at 7 p.m. daily, Monday to Friday on MITV, channel 255, DSTV, and on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Clearview News Desk. We clear the view, one time and for all time.
Welcome back. Famous Nigerian musician Seun Kuti has reportedly narrowly escaped stray bullets in the United States. Kuti, in a viral video shared on his Instagram page on Sunday evening, captured the frightening moment of the incident. Terrified over the incident, Seun explained that the bullet unexpectedly pierced through the window of his hotel room. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
Nigerians have taken to the street in protest, demanding the release of popular social media activist Very Dark Man, who was arrested by operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission at GTB Bank premises in Abuja. The peace accord between the suspended Governor Simlai Fubara and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has reportedly collapsed as a fresh crisis looms in Rivers State. Former Minister of Education Obi Ezekwesili has denied collecting bribes to support the suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Florence Joshua. Bye for now.
We invite you to watch how we clear the views on all matters through our partner station MITV on DSTV channel 255, 7 p.m. daily, and also our YouTube and Facebook pages under one name, Clearview News Desk every day. We call it The People's News, as we are available to come over and cover your events upon notice. Or do you have news you want us to broadcast? Send it in. We verify and go to town with it. All for you. Go ahead, engage us to thrash out those knotty issues on the news. And what we need from you is to share and subscribe. More important, convince your loved ones, friends, relatives, co-worshippers, and more to subscribe so as to be getting notifications as we break the news. Go a step further, like the news, and drop your thoughts on the comment section. Clearview News, We clear the view one time and for all time.